right, welcome to another episode of Conversations with Drivers. I'm your host and driver advocate Lamar Sullivan. Riding with us today is a driver out of the Miami market, Reggie.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. And thank you for
Miami. So,
having me, by the way. Thank you for having me.
yeah,
I
thank you for
appreciate that.
joining us. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. It's good to be here and talking to you in person. Well, not in person, but sort of kind of in person.
Right, you get to actually see the person behind the name that's
Exactly.
behind all these messages that you guys receive.
Exactly.
What's the temperature weather like in Miami right now?
Right now it's colder than it normally is. It's in the low 40s right now. And funny enough,
There,
it's actually snowing up north in Florida. Yeah, crazy.
I don't even
And
sense.
that's not something that happens on a regular.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to say that at all.
Yeah, no, in the Panhandle, Tallahassee area and all that, it's
Mhm.
snowing. Crazy, but it
Yeah,
happens.
I've never heard of snow in Florida, so
I know. No, look it up. It's true.
so let's get into some of the questions here. So, how long have you been in the gig community? Doing the different apps or whatever you've been doing.
This year, September time is gonna make me 2 years.
Okay.
So I've been doing this for over a year and some change. Over a year
Mhm.
and some change. Yeah.
Okay. And so, have you done all types of apps, or do you have certain apps that you like, or that you
Right.
kind of started with and kind of moved off of?
Um, right now, Dispatch is definitely my number one gig app because you guys keep me busy pretty much on a everyday basis. But I do have Curry on the list.
Mhm,
I have
mhm.
Bungie on the list, and I also have Rody on the list. And these are like the top five that keeps me busy on a regular basis. So, but Dispatch is number one. So I'll say
Yeah,
that.
that we'll get more into that, but that's good to hear off the
Yeah,
top.
for sure.
So what got you into the cargo van business? What made you buy a cargo van, and what type of cargo van do you have currently?
Oh, what got me into the cargo van business? This is actually a pretty good question, and it's a long story, but I'll keep it real short. So I
It could be
used to
as
be in
long as you want it to be. We got
the
a lot of space here.
for sure. So I used to be in the property management business,
Okay.
right? And my last job, I was the clubhouse manager, and I had a lot of time on my hands, and I was looking to see if I can find something to help me make more money. And I just started doing a little bit of research on YouTube, and I seen a couple of YouTubers, or as they call it on that space, gig tubers, right? A lot of them were posting about, different gig apps slash companies that you can work with to make extra money on the side. And that's when I started doing a whole lot more research, and I seen Dispatch, I seen Curry, I seen GoShare, Bungie, and I made my decision later on to get me a cargo van, and I had got me my first cargo van, which I'm sure we're gonna talk some more about that. It was a Ford Transit Connect. It was one of the small ones.
Yeah.
I kind of messed up there. I kind of messed, but the reason why I bought the Transit Connect was because I just wanted to get my foot into the door. And I
Right.
had the money to purchase that one, so I went ahead and I purchased it. And a lot of things happened in between, and I went ahead and I purchased me a ProMaster, a 1500 ProMaster, which is not the one that I wanted, like I really wanted, but it was within the price range that I was looking for and the mileage. And I went ahead and I pulled the trigger. I pulled the
Okay.
trigger.
So that's what you have now.
I have the ProMaster 1500. Yeah.
Okay, and so I'm guessing what you ran into with your Transit Connect was it wasn't big enough for some of the bigger orders that were needed.
That definitely played a major factor. And I
Sure.
actually got into a car accident. It was a total loss. That was somebody hit me from the back, and the insurance company considered it a total loss. So I had to make my decision on purchasing a bigger one. But yes, back to what you said. Um, There was no space. That was what I would say that probably was one of my biggest regret when it comes
Mhm.
to buying a cargo van. You
Mhm.
never want to get the smallest one. You want to
Yeah.
get something that's as big as possible.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what happened.
Okay. Okay. So what made you create a YouTube channel to document your journey?
Um, I've always been on YouTube,
Mhm.
but it was for a different thing that I was doing at the time.
Mhm.
Okay, and I had stopped doing that because I was super busy within the whole property management space. And later on, when I heard about the cargo van business, and I realized how much content that it has, I don't have to do anything. All I got to do is record.
Mhm.
So I figured this, and you know what? I'm doing this as a part time. That's when I had the Ford Transit,
Mhm.
and things happened, and I got the ProMaster. And I said, you know what? Since you have content on a regular basis, go ahead and record it. Because the same way I was watching the people that introduced me to the gig, everything gig related, the
Mhm.
same thing that they were doing, I told myself you could do the same thing too.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at today.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it seems like you've really grown grown a decent sized community from
Yeah.
doing.
And it's kind of crazy. It's been doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I started about, I think I'm hitting a year,
Okay.
maybe a couple of months. I would say about 8, 9, 10 months maybe.
Mhm.
But as far as people being interested in what I have to show them, it's been doing pretty well. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that.
Yeah, that's really good. And yeah, I mean that's one thing that we're kind of finding on our side is like there is a huge appetite for information in the gig
Yeah,
community. People want to know more about, the best side hustles, the best way to
exactly.
work smarter, not harder, that kind of thing.
Ex
So you
exactly.
with some others, like that's you guys are good resources for those drivers.
Yeah, and there are people that's looking into before they get into the community,
Yeah.
what does that entice of, like, what am I gonna get myself into?
Yeah,
And my channel, it kind of shows you what you do on a daily basis, the type of orders that you're gonna be picking up, the type of people that you're gonna be dealing with, pretty much. Though that's, yeah, that plays a major factor. So yeah.
for sure, for sure. So as being in the gig community, is that kind of your main source of income, or is it more of a side hustle for you?
Right now, definitely a main source of income. But I also deal with direct shippers
Okay.
and personal clients.
Okay.
And that's not something that I put on the channel,
Hmm.
but it is something that I do on the weekends.
Okay.
And I do recommend that to a lot of people that's jumping into that space. You never want to, I know you guys are the gig apps, but this is for the drivers. You
Yeah.
never want to strictly be focused more on the gig apps. You kind of want to have something else, just in case if the gig apps are slow, like it is right now in this time of year. You
Hmm.
want to have something that you can rely on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely. I want the people to know that before they get into this space right here.
For sure. And we have a lot of drivers that are like that. One of the things that we are looking into is, how can we better help you drivers with some of the stuff that you're doing outside the app, whether that's helping with your routing or any of the tools that you might use to function with your other accounts that you might have. So that's something that we are looking into to kind of enhance the dispatch app and make it more usable for you outside of the orders that you're doing with
Yeah.
us.
Yes, 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 most def. But yeah, I do it full time, and so far, get dispatch. You guys keep me busy. Um,
Good. Good.
I would like to be kept more busy, but yeah, you guys keep me busy.
Right, right. I think the majority of drivers will have that
No,
sentiment,
yeah,
whether they are really busy or not. You can always
yeah,
have more.
yes, exactly, exactly.
So what would you say to someone considering purchasing a van for gig work? What should they consider? What did you not consider when you bought your first one that you wish you would have?
I would say for sure do as much research as possible. There's a lot of people doing content on the whole gig app and cargo van space, do as much research as possible, making sure that you buy the right vehicle.
Right.
Okay. And you got to know the vehicle, you got to know all the vehicles and the type of problems that comes with it. And personally speaking, the Pro Masters, they're prone to giving problems with transmissions.
Mm-hmm.
And I my ProMaster, I had a problem recently, a couple months ago, where I needed a whole new transmission. I needed a whole new engine. I needed a whole new everything. You know what I mean? So that right there, people got to keep that in mind. I would say I don't. I've had a Ford Transit, but it was a small one, so I'm not really speaking on the bigger ones.
Yeah.
But from the research that I've done, I would say the Ford Transit is definitely one of the more reliable cargo vans. So people have to keep that in mind as well.
Mm-hmm.
So for sure, research. That's one of the main things that I would like to let the people know. Whoever wants to come into the space, that's it right here. A lot of research and buying the right vehicle.
Mm-hmm. For
Yeah.
sure. For sure. Um, so off of the cargo van conversation, so when you're looking for orders, what are the most important factors to you that make orders worth it?
The miles, how far I'm going. And sometimes if I'm not already, I'm home and I get a dispatch order, how far is it from me? I've seen some orders where it's going for about say $50, right? But I have to drive like a pretty good distance for me to get to that delivery location, pick up the order and go to the drop-off location. That right there, driving to that location already took it doesn't make sense at times. But
Mm-hmm.
if I'm already out there on the road and I see an order that's maybe not near me, but a good 20-minute drive, that's fine with me because I'm already out here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's good to know. And so just in general, uh, what are the things that are important to you as a gig driver across any app? What are the things that are important to you?
Um, like I said, the money, the the,
Mhm.
the miles,
Yeah.
how big the order is, how much am I carrying? Because it's some gig apps out here, they give you the orders be so big, but the amount of money that they're paying, it doesn't make any sense.
Hmm.
So that right there is very important to me. The money, the miles that I'm driving, and how much am I carrying?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be hauling 500 plus or 1,000 plus pounds for $30.
Hmm.
So that right there for me, yeah, the money, the mileage, and the weight, that plays a factor.
Well, thankfully on the dispatch app, if it's 1,000 pounds, the weight bonus shouldn't be 30 pounds by or $30 by itself. So
And I noticed that. And I
yeah,
noticed that. And that's one of the things, like I said, I love about dispatch, man. I love it.
good,
I
good.
love it. Yeah.
I'm glad that we're doing the right thing in that regard.
No, for sure. For sure.
um, so what are there specific things that you look for in gig apps to determine whether you want to try it or not?
Um, if it's a new gig app and they're marketing themselves as, you're gonna be making $40 an hour, that right there, that's gonna get my attention. And
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's gonna get anybody's attention. But if when I get on the gig app and the gigs that I'm seeing doesn't match what they're marketing, that's already a no-no.
Hmm.
And let's just say it does match. They do pay, pretty good amount of money, but you don't get orders on a consistent basis. That's one that now that gig app specifically, it becomes one of those gig apps that you put to the side and you do that part-time if you feel like doing it.
Hmm.
Versus dispatch. I'm gonna speak for you guys.
Yeah.
You guys have orders on a regular basis. In my city, I can't really
Yeah.
speak on, everywhere else, but where
Yeah.
I'm at, when it's booming, it's booming.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Well, and that's one of the things that I kind of take pride in when it comes to like some of the ads that we put out looking for drivers. Is like I don't want to advertise that you're going to make a certain amount of money when you may or may not like. I
Yeah, for
want
sure.
I want to be as realistic as possible, so you know what to expect. I'm big on setting expectations early, so people aren't disappointed when they experience whatever they experience. So
Yes, yes.
um, I hope
Agreed.
that's what we're kind of living up to. Is what we say we're gonna do. That's what we do.
Oh no, you are, bro. On my channel, bro, I praise y'all. Some people hate on me for that. Dispatch this, dispatch that, but it's true. I mean, again, I'm speaking for my city. You
Yep.
guys give out the pay is fair. The loads, the amount of money to the mileage ratio, it makes sense to me.
Mhm.
And the weight, sometimes it does. Sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes you guys, it's a little
Yeah.
like I don't know,
Yeah.
but no. Overall though, most definitely to me, you guys are making me the most money, so I have to give it to you guys.
So
You guys have my number one spot for sure.
great. Well, yeah, the proof is in the pudding. I like to hear that.
There you go.
So what are on that point, what are some of the orders that you like to take in your area that you'll just always accept? If that comes across your screen, you're taking it.
I do a lot of TVs, the big ones. I do
Yeah.
a lot of those deliveries. Those make sense to me. I guess it comes down to the type of customer that's putting those orders out. It was a time where some of the orders that were coming out, it was going out for, the mileage to dollar ratio makes a lot of sense. But ever since 2025, I don't know if it's a customer thing. I don't know where it's coming from. But
Mhm.
some of these people, they're kind of lowering the price just a little bit. I don't know
Mhm.
what's going on there, but those are the deliveries that I do on a regular basis because they make the most sense. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's good to know. So yes, so kind of on dispatch specifically. So how did you find out about dispatch?
Um, when I was doing my research,
Oh,
like I said, there was a lot of people out there that was putting content on a regular basis. One of the guys that his name is Big CJ. He was
yes.
one of yeah,
Yep.
he was one of the ones that I was watching on a regular basis.
Mhm.
He actually, I guess I'm gonna make a long story short again.
Mhm.
He actually left his job from what he put out there to do gig at full time. And
Yep.
when I was working my job, I noticed that he took the faith and he did that. And that
Mhm.
was one of the things that I wanted to do. So I just said, you know what, let me just see how his journey goes
Mhm.
and I'll do the same thing. And I did do the same thing, and so far so good. I haven't looked back since. So yeah, for sure, YouTube and the content creators that are out there that
Mhm.
put you guys out there, and you
Mhm.
guys were one of the first ones to bring me on board, and we took it from there.
Nice. So I'm glad that you name dropped that because he was actually the first, YouTube creator collab that we did last year.
I
Uh,
seen that.
good, good.
I
Yeah.
seen
So
that.
you're our second, so that's funny. Full circle moment. That's how you
Yeah.
guys did. Now I'm talking to you. So
And
um,
it's crazy. I like him though.
yeah,
He's probably when it comes to the gig space community, he's one of the top ones that
yeah.
I always watch his content. So I don't
Mhm.
know if he knows that, but he's one of the ones.
Yeah, well, and I agree. And he's very fair, just as I said to you, very fair about what he sees as dispatch. When I talked to him, he was really interested in like the business aspect of dispatch, like our financials and a lot of that
Right,
stuff.
right, right.
We got into.
Yeah,
Yeah, just very cool that that's kind of full circle uh,
yeah.
for you.
No, for
Um,
sure.
so, what have you liked about working with dispatch?
The pay, man, the pay.
that's
You know what
that's
I'm saying?
I like
And
to hear
you guys, listen, you guys make me the most money, so I can't, you know, that's it right there. The pay is really that's what I like about you guys.
that.
And the customer service too. The customer service is awesome.
Mhm.
Soon as I text support, maybe about seconds go by and somebody's already on top of it. There's other gig apps out there where you text them and you don't hear anything for the whole day. Say if you're dealing with a situation that needs support,
Mm.
Imagine not being able to get support. That's to me, that's one of the that's a no to me. But you guys do a great job when it comes to customer service for sure. So,
I didn't know that there are apps out there that didn't respond within
oh
a day.
yeah, Rody. I'm gonna have to name drop Rody, bro. Rody. Because
Like,
it's times where they do answer, but then there's times where you don't hear anything at all. I don't know if it's once they go offline, that's
mm.
it, or I don't know. I don't know what it is, but yeah, Rody. I'm gonna have to name drop Rody.
Yeah, well, kind of one of the things that we did talk about in the previous video that we were doing was, that's something that does differentiate us, that we feel like differentiates us from our
Hmm.
competitors, is our support, and we take a lot of pride in that. Is just quick support, being helpful, being friendly,
Yeah.
trying to be at provide as much value to the drivers as we can. And so I'm glad
Yes.
you're seeing that.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. I'm gonna have to give you guys. I'm gonna have to put my hat down for y'all when it comes to that. Yes.
Good. So, in your opinion, what are some of the things that dispatch can improve on? And don't hold back. If you got a whole list, let's hear it.
So 2025, the beginning of this year, it's been a little tough,
Yeah.
right? And customers are not putting out orders for the same amount of money that they used to put out orders for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're purposely, cutting out the pay because they want to keep more money in their pocket, but I think that should be something where, if even as a business, when it comes to dispatch, if the dollar ratio doesn't make any sense with what we're carrying, what we're hauling, I think dispatch should, I don't know, I don't know how you guys go about it. Maybe talk to the customer and say, listen, you're putting out a thousand pound load for $40, for an example, right? It doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
There's no cargo van drivers gonna do it for that amount of money.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that dispatch can do, but as a driver talking to one of the companies that's out there, I think, talking to some of the customers that want to be stingy with their money and not actually putting the proper pay on the order that they're putting out, that right there, that's a concern for me. Doing, just overdoing a delivery but underpaying.
Yeah.
That's a concern.
Well, and that's something that, as drivers submit different adjustments for weight, if we see a specific customer is constantly putting in the wrong weight and we keep having it adjusted, we would talk to that customer and be like, hey,
Yeah.
can do something better here. Like,
Yeah. Right.
we keep having to pay out more. You're paying more from your pocket anyway. So just
Yeah.
put in the order right the first time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Agreed.
but that is definitely something that we hear from drivers, is that weight component of it being wrong, or that whatever the case is. And like I told you already, is just a submit adjustment. If you're able to show that weight is off and it should be more, submit
Hmm.
an adjustment for it, and we will for sure compensate you. Like, we want all of our drivers to be paid fairly. So yeah, just show us that it's wrong and we'll fix it.
Okay, for sure. And one more thing. This one is simple. More
Yeah.
orders. We
Yep.
need more orders. We're a lot of us are ready to do more. So,
Yep.
if dispatch can, continuously just put out more and more and more, yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all
Well,
for it.
I can tell you, we had our sales kickoff last week, and the main goal was increasing our order count across the whole
Yeah.
network. So I can tell you we're
Yeah.
aligned on that.
No, I'm with it. I'm with it.
For sure. So would you recommend driving with dispatch to the people that you know?
Of course, I'm already doing that.
Of course.
I'm already doing that, man.
Of course.
I already told you. I keep praising you guys. So not because I want to praise you guys, but the things that you guys are doing, I like it.
Yeah.
So why not put somebody else on and let them know this is one of them ones? You know, they're one of the companies that's actually gonna make sure, you know, you make as much money as possible. You know, like I said before, the smart delivery thing that you guys have, the I forget
Yeah.
the exact name
Smart
for it.
order mapping.
Yeah, that right there, if somebody's on the road wherever they are and there's a order in that specific area, dispatch gonna make sure you get it. So I always like to let people know of that. It's you know, dispatch gonna send it to you. And that's here's another beauty of it. They send it to you directly.
Mhm.
You know, other companies don't do that. They just send it straight to the board, and it's
Mhm.
a free for all.
Yep.
But you guys send it to the person directly, and we have about, I believe it's 45 seconds to kind of look over everything
Yep.
and see if you want to do it, if it makes sense. So yeah, for sure, I would definitely recommend anybody that I know, and I'm
Mhm.
already doing that as we speak, to dispatch.
For sure. And I always ask that question because, there's some drivers that might hear that and be like, well, I'm already like fighting for the orders that I get. I don't want to have more people in my area to fight
Yeah,
for orders with. So
yeah.
that's what we do hear from drivers a little bit, but I'm glad.
That that
Yeah.
right there, that's y'all secret weapon to being on top. Nobody else is doing that.
Mhm.
You know, so I except for a catering company called Delivered. I don't know if you guys hear about it, Delivered, but they send, yeah, they're a catering company, so they're not really related to the cargo space.
Yeah.
But yeah, the smart matching order thing,
Mhm.
I that's a great thing that you guys have.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Love to hear that. Um, so in your opinion, how have the orders on the dispatch app compared to other gig apps that you've used?
How has it been? I mean, it's been fair to say the least. I like I've said, I've seen some orders that, you know, it didn't really make any sense, but for the most part, on the scale of, you know, all the other gig apps, I think you guys and some other people may disagree, but in my city where I'm at, you guys hold that spot of the amount of orders that comes out and how much they come out for, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, you guys hold that spot. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. And would you say would you say the pay that we have on our orders is pretty comparable to the competitors that you see?
Yes, but
Okay.
yes, definitely. But I've done a recent video about a pay that you guys gave me for a certain order. It was actually 100 miles going for, I believe, 175 or something like that. Now, you know, this is towards the drivers out there, right?
Yeah,
This is not necessarily to dispatch.
for sure.
Um, a lot of drivers, they're prideful, you know, to the, oh, I won't do anything unless it's this amount. You
Mhm.
know, business wise, to me, when you guys are sending out orders, you guys are the gig apps. Obviously, you guys get a cut to whatever it is that you got going on.
Yeah.
But we, as the driver, we're never gonna get an order that, if we were to have a personal client and charge them a specific amount, that's the personal client that we're dealing with. But because we're working with dispatch, we're never gonna get the full amount of money. And I'm okay with that. But if the dollar to mile ratio makes sense, I'm still okay with that. I just want the drivers to know, bro, like, you don't have to get mad at me for sure, you know, per se, if I want to do a certain order on the gig app, if it makes sense to me. You know,
Mhm.
some of the drivers, man, they're just, I don't know, some of them are too prideful, and you know, they're saying that they won't do anything for this amount of money, this and that. I'm like, dude, like, come on, you know, to me it makes sense. So yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, and to me, it's all about a mindset for sure. It's like you got to know what you're gonna experience when you're on a gig app. Compared how you just said it was perfect. Working directly with a given client, you're gonna make way more because you don't have this middleman in between.
right,
Like just that
exactly,
you're the middleman. Obviously, we're gonna take a cut out of it. Like that's just the nature of the business. And so
exactly.
the way you put it is a perfect way of putting it.
Exactly. Yeah. Some of the drivers just they all want, you know, they want $1 million per load.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen. That's not gonna happen. You know, you know, you gotta if you guys are giving out, I'm gonna go back to the recent order that I took with you guys, right?
Yeah.
Um, if you guys are giving out 100, I was driving 100 miles for the I'm referring to the comments that I was getting, and they were saying that they wouldn't do. Some of them said that they wouldn't do it. Now, are you like, for how much? How much exactly would you do it for? A lot of them are gonna say, "Well, I'll do 100 miles for $1,000 or $500." It doesn't make any sense because you're working with a gig app.
Mm-hmm.
You're not working directly with a customer, you know. So, but I just wanted to put that out there when it comes to the drivers.
Yeah, that's well said for sure. So what would you say to drivers out there who are on the fence about giving dispatch a try?
Um, if you're on the fence, now, why would those drivers be on the fence? Is it because they feel like the pay may not be right? I mean, I would say if you have the proper vehicle
Mm-hmm.
and not, I'm not referring to a car.
Mm-hmm.
I'm referring to a cargo van.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one, either the 250 or the 150. I'm talking about the Ford Transit. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. As long as you have a big vehicle, there's no need to be on the fence because you're gonna make the money plus some.
Mm-hmm.
You're definitely gonna make the money plus some. So no need to be on the fence.
Good, good. Yeah, and the hesitancy does come from that. It comes from how many orders am I going to see? Like, can they keep me busy, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, and obviously that depends on the market that you're in.
Yes, because and that's where some of the people goes wrong. Some of the drivers, they prematurely, depending on their market, once again, they
Mhm.
buy a vehicle, not doing their research on the market that they're in, and after they get the car or the cargo van, come to find out their market is not providing as much, deliveries as they thought it was,
Mhm.
but that's due to a lack of research.
Mhm.
So it goes back to what we said earlier.
Yep.
Research is number one before getting into this business. So as long as you do your research and you know what your market is like, there's no need to be on the fence. You're gonna make the money times 10.
Right. Yeah. Nice way to put it. Nice way to tie back to your original point of research.
Yeah.
Research,
Yeah.
research. All right. So coming down to the last couple of questions here, you kind of talked about you kind of said one regret here, but do you have any regrets or lessons you've learned in your gig driver experience?
Uh Buying the wrong vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Um when I first started, I bought one of the smallest cargo van, and it was the Ford Transit Connect. And that was a big mistake right there. Okay. And then I also bought a ProMaster after the Cargo Van Transit Connect, the Ford Transit Connect. I bought a ProMaster 1500. And due to lack of research and knowing the problems and issues, mechanical problems and issues that comes with the Ram ProMasters,
Mm-hmm.
I should have done my research. And that was one of my biggest regrets, buying a small cargo van and buying a cargo van that comes with a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
That's I want people to know that this is why I keep saying research goes a long way. That was one of the mistakes that I've done. I bought the wrong car and it cost me a lot of money. It really did.
Yeah. So to his point, more research. Just
Yeah,
you, you
it
don't
goes a
want
long
to be
way.
doing all those repairs, and
Yeah. And
it'll end
then
up costing more than what you paid for the vehicle.
exactly. I had a bad transmission. I needed a whole new engine. It was just bad. I'm telling you, it was bad. It
Yeah.
was bad. But that was my fault though. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm
Yes,
blaming myself. I'm blaming me.
for sure. For sure. Anything as far as utilizing any of the gig apps or any of the experiences that you had delivering on any of the gig apps?
I um I don't think I've had any bad experiences.
Okay.
I haven't ran into somebody that gave me any problems, at least bad problems to the point where I had to bring it to the limelight.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't had any bad experiences. Only good to okay experiences I've had.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
I hope one of these days, I don't jinx myself and I run into a Karen and next thing you know, I'm dealing with a whole lot of problems. So
Right. I mean, I hope nobody in our
yeah,
community deals with that. No one
yeah.
wants.
So
No one
you
wants
never
us.
know.
You're right. Exactly. All right. Last question here. Just any final things you want to say before we get off of here? Any parting words that you want the drivers to know? I know a big theme of this is research. Do your research on everything. Anything else that you want to share?
Um, I guess it'll have to do with the money. I
Yep.
just want the drivers to know you're not gonna get the amount of money that you would normally get if you were to deal with a customer, a direct customer. The drivers have to always remember that there's a middleman involved. So don't think you're gonna get the full amount of money. Somebody has to take a cut, and somebody else takes a cut, and then the drivers get their cut. A lot of drivers they're prideful unto I'm gonna do this order unless it's this, or I'm not even gonna touch this. That's fine, that's fine, but not every time you're gonna see a Hail Mary order that makes. So
Mhm.
that's what I want drivers to know, that there's a middleman involved, and just make the money, continue making money. As long as it makes sense, not overdoing it, that's it. Make the money.
Cool. It's a great message for them. And so that'll conclude this episode of Conversations with Drivers. Thank you for Reggie for joining us today, and
No,
thank you for driving with Dispatch.
no, for sure. Oh, also don't forget to follow me on YouTube, man.
Plug all your
Reggie
stuff,
Ran It Up.
man.
Reggie Ran It Up, man. But no, thank you for having me, man. I do appreciate you for bringing me on, and I look forward to speaking with you more in the future.
Yeah, for sure. All right, thank you.
All right, man. All right.